In a recent episode of The Late Show, Stephen Colbert turned his comedic lens on Meghan Markle, delivering a scathing review of her cooking recipe that left viewers both laughing and shaking their heads. The segment highlighted not only the flaws in her culinary creation, but also reignited discussions about Markle's public persona, which has often been characterized by controversy and criticism. As Colbert dissected her recipe with his signature wit, he tapped into a broader narrative surrounding the Duchess of Sussex, suggesting that her foray into the culinary world might be just another misstep in a string of misguided endeavors. Markle has long been a figure of fascination and scrutiny, with her every move attracting intense media attention. While some celebrate her as a modern icon breaking royal norms, others view her as a symbol of privilege detached from reality. This latest episode only amplifies the criticism aimed at her lifestyle choices, including her attempts at cooking. Colbert's roast served as a stark reminder that her public image is often at odds with the relatable persona she aims to project. The disconnect between her royal status and her culinary ambitions raises questions about authenticity, especially when the result is a recipe that even the most forgiving critics found hard to swallow. Critics have long pointed out Markle's tendency to present herself as an advocate for the everyday person while simultaneously living a life of luxury. Her cooking recipe, which Colbert gleefully tore apart, seemed to embody this contradiction. The ingredients list was a mishmash of exotic items that only a high-end grocery store could supply, making it nearly impossible for the average home cook to replicate. This disconnect not only highlights her privileged background, but also suggests a lack of understanding of what it means to truly relate to the public. For many, the absurdity of her recipe served as a metaphor for her broader public persona, a royal trying too hard to fit in with the common folk, but ultimately missing the mark. Moreover, the backlash against Markle's culinary attempts isn't merely about taste. It reflects a deeper societal frustration with the way she has navigated her royal duties and public life. Critics argue that her recent ventures, including her lifestyle blog and various media projects, often come off as tone-deaf. Colbert's roast struck a chord because it encapsulated the sentiments of many who feel that Markle's attempts to connect with ordinary people are, at best, misguided. It raises the question: can someone who has lived a life of privilege genuinely understand the struggles of everyday individuals, especially when their cooking skills are as questionable as the royal family's decision-making? As Colbert's comedic take on her recipe circulated on social media, it became evident that the public's fascination with Markle is equally matched by their skepticism. Her attempts at cooking, much like her public statements, have been dissected and criticized from all angles. The recipe Colbert mocked was not just a culinary failure, it became a symbol of her larger struggles with authenticity. In a world where cooking is often seen as an intimate act of love and care, Markle's recipe felt superficial and out of touch, reinforcing the narrative that she is more concerned with her image than with genuine connection. The backlash wasn't limited to Colbert's audience. Food critics and home cooks alike joined in on the fun, sharing their own experiences of culinary disasters that seemed far more relatable than Markle's highbrow concoction. This collective mockery served to deepen the divide between her and the public, revealing a growing sentiment that Markle, despite her best intentions, has not yet grasped the nuances of being a relatable figure. Her culinary misstep became a rallying cry for those who feel she has strayed too far from the values of humility and authenticity. In the wake of the roast, Markle's defenders argued that the criticism was overly harsh and rooted in a long-standing bias against her. While there is merit to this argument, given the media's relentless scrutiny of her every move, the reality remains that her cooking endeavors have consistently failed to resonate. Instead of fostering a sense of community or shared experience, her attempts have often led to ridicule, further complicating her already tumultuous relationship with the public. This latest roast is just one more example of how her image continues to be shaped by perceptions of elitism rather than relatability. Ultimately, Colbert's roast serves as a reminder of the fine line public figures must walk between aspiration and authenticity. Markle's attempts to enter the culinary world, much like her various other projects, seem to be an extension of her desire to connect. However, as this incident illustrates, when the execution falls flat, the backlash can be swift and unforgiving. It raises important questions about how public figures can stay true to their roots while also embracing new opportunities, something Markle seems to struggle with, much to the delight of late-night comedians and critics alike. In the end, as laughter echoed through Colbert's studio, it became clear that Meghan Markle's culinary aspirations may have inadvertently revealed more about her public persona than she intended. The dichotomy between her royal background and the real-world expectations of authenticity continues to play out, leaving audiences divided. With each new venture, she risks further alienation from the very people she seeks to engage.